Now I have 3 screens. I just give a navigation connection. So this navigation connection we'll see later how to give the navigation connection. I just know I'm giving simply whenever you are creating in a real time, whenever you are creating a screen, for this screen you have to create one corresponding class also. Now I have created 2 extra screens here. When you create 2 extra screens, you have to create 2 extra classes also. How I will create a class here? When you are dragging here, when you are dragging a screen, you call it is a view controller. Now whenever I create a class, I have to create a class which is a view controller only. I cannot create a class navigation controller and I cannot associate with a view controller. I cannot create table view, I cannot create a collection view. So only thing I have to create a class called view controller. Here if I want to create a class, do the right click. Here you will get an option called new file. From here also you will do, or here I have a file, new file. So in many ways we are having option. Do the right click, new file. Here choose which platform. I want to create a class for iOS. In the iOS I have a source. In the source again I have so many options. Here I want to create a class. I create a class. If you want to create a test case or a Swift empty file, Objective-C file, header file, C, CPP, all this I'm having here. I want to create a class. Next, and this should be always a view controller because the screen I have created is a view controller screen. Now my class should be a view controller. Name.
Can you, excuse me, can you please check the screen is stuck actually? It is become static.
Okay, now can you see this?
Yeah, now it is
Okay.
visible.
Now the class name, I should not provide the same class name. I have a class name called view controller. So what are the new class you are creating? This should be having some unique name. This is my second view controller. And for which language you want to select? I want to select for the Swift language only. I don't want to use any Objective-C language here. So select a Swift language. Next. Where you want to save? I want to save in my project only. Create. I have created one class and it is sufficient for one screen. I have one more screen here. So create one more class. The same way, Cocoa Touch class. Next, that screen also a view controller screen. My class name I am giving. Next, create. Now I have created 2 classes here. I have 2 screens here. Now my responsibility, I have to associate. It will not automatically associate this screen with this class. It is my responsibility. Whenever you create, go to the particular screen, go to the class identity inspector, give your class name what I have created. My class name, I have created a second view controller. Now for this design, whatever the design I do here, for this design I can write a code in my class called second view controller. The same way, this screen I have created, for this screen I'll give a class name third view controller. This is how whenever you are creating a screen, you create a classes and you should not forget to associate with the classes. In this, any doubts are there? The screen creation and the class association. So here, whenever you are adding a file, so this is for the iOS we are selecting. For the iOS, it is a touch device. So they call as a touch class here. If I select Mac, for the desktop, if I select, they say it is a normal class. It is not a touch class. Because the desktop, whatever I'm using, it is not a touch class. Here, the Cocoa is nothing but a framework. iOS framework, we call it a Cocoa. And for iOS, I'm designing this class. So nothing but a Cocoa touch class. And here, if I want to create a test class, so nothing but to write the test cases. So this file I will choose. If I want to create any empty file, so this is not related to any class. One empty file. In this empty file, I can do anything. So this is nothing but my empty file. If I want to create Objective-C, this is for Swift language, this is for Objective-C language. Here I'm not using any Objective-C language. Then if you want to use any header file, nothing but to define some methods, to define some abstract class, to define some constants. So for this, I will use the header file. And C language. So this Xcode whatever I'm having here, it will support your C language and your CPP language. So for that, if you want to read the language, I'll use this. The metal file anyway we are not using here. So I'm choosing Cocoa Touch class. Next, your class name, what kind of class you want to create. And I have associated with a particular class name. And whenever whatever the view controller you create, it will always follow the same life cycle. View did load will be there, then view will appear, view did appear will be there. So this method I'm just copying and I'm adding here in all the classes. This is a third class. I just copied and pasted all the methods in the view controller. But now if I say from class view controller, if I click a button, I will go to second class. When you are going to second class, here two more things will happen. Your view will disappear here. When in the real time, what happens if I want to see this? I have three screens. So screen 1 I am having, screen 2 I'll have, then the screen 3. By default, whenever launch application, this is getting launched, this will be in my memory. If I want to go here, I cannot see these two at a particular time. I have to remove this from the memory. I have to show this to the user. The same way when I'm going from here to here, this I have to remove. So this view should go out. This view should come in. How this will happen means this methods, what are the view will disappear. So this view will get disappear. This view will appear. Your view will disappear, then view did disappear. But in a real time, views only view will disappear. When your view is going out, if you want to do something, it is for the particular screen, not for all the things. For this, I can write one view will disappear. For this also view will disappear. For this also view will disappear. So the same method I'll copy for other two classes. Now we'll see how it will behave. First, I'm running this. First, my first screen view will get loaded. Then my view will appear. Then view is appear. Now this is done by screen 1. What is the design I have done? It is loaded. Now I have taken the button. For this button, I am giving action to go to the second screen. So when I click on this, the first thing, my second view should get loaded. So now this should get loaded. When this is getting loaded, I have to remove this. So it is coming back to the first class and is telling my view is about to disappear. So second screen view is getting loaded, then my first screen view will disappear. When my first screen view goes out, then only I can show my second screen's view. My second screen view will appear. Finally, at the last, my first screen will go out. So like this, your application will behave always. You are jumping from one screen to another screen. First, my first screen got loaded properly. Then, if you want to show the second screen, your first screen will go out. It will disappear. Then your second screen will load it fully. Finally, your first screen will go out. The same thing if I go to the third screen. I'm clicking on this. I want to go to the third screen. First, it is trying to load third screen, but there is already a second screen. So now my second screen also will behave in the same way. So like this, it will load. If I want to go to any screen, so it happens with any screen, not only for this. In the real time, if we have 100 screens, for the 100 screens, the same life cycle will be applicable. So what are the things that we are having here? The same life cycle. If I want to go to the first screen I want to load, my third screen should go, because at a time I cannot show two different screens. This is the logic that will get implemented in the real time. And in the interview, at any cost, you may get a question from the application lifecycle. So this is different. Don't get confused. This is a different thing. Application lifecycle and your class lifecycle is different. Nothing but your view controller lifecycle. So these two you have to remember at any cost. Any doubts are there in this? So this is a brief thing about how you are launching the screen, how you are showing the screens to the user. But just remember this, going forward, we may see this again and again. So what are the things that we are doing here? We may see this again and again.
So it will be concerned about the difference between view control lifecycle and
so app delegate lifecycle for entire application. So now I have class 1, class 2, class 3. Okay, in these three classes, you may be wherever you are. If I'm in this class, if I click a home button, this will give you the callback to my app delegate. Read enter background.
it will not fall in view control lifecycle.
No, it will not give callback to your view controller. So it will give callback to your application only. So it is common for all the classes. So you in the real time, you should never touch your app delegate class. So here you will not write any code. When I will write a code here, if you are writing a single line of code, if this is applicable for all the screens. So this single line of code should be applicable for all your three classes. Then only I'll write a code in app delegate. Or else you write your code in this class, or this class. If I write a code in this class, it is not applicable for this class. It is only to my third class. So that's how we'll differentiate the life cycle. So what is the life cycle we are having? That's how we differentiate. But we should remember all the 5 methods. In the app delegate, we have 6 methods. Launch with options, region active, background, foreground, active, and terminate. And a view controller, 5 methods. Did load, appear, did appear, disappear, did disappear. These are the things. Now I'll do one more thing. In main storyboard, what I am doing, I have entry point for the first controller. So whenever I'm launching this screen is getting loaded. But here I have 3 screens now. When I have 3 screens, I want to show now my requirement. I want to show my third screen. So this is the first screen. By default, it is there. Then the second screen. Then I have a third screen. My requirement, I want to show this first. I want to give entry point to this. So at any point of time, only one screen has an entry point. Multiple screens I cannot give. So select this controller, what the controller is having. Select this controller in the property attributes. So this is property attribute inspector. Here you have the option called this should be my initial controller. Select this, entry point will come here. there's a first screen, entry point will go. Now if I run this, your third screen will get loaded first because the entry point I have given for the third view controller class. So this will be loaded first. My screen 3. So this and all going forward in the designing, we'll see more about this. And from tomorrow, we will start writing the coding in the real time. So how and where we should write the code, we should not write the code, and how class will behave while writing the code. So we'll see how warnings will be generated, how errors will come, how to build, how to run, how to put a breakpoint, how to debug. All these scenarios will. Any other dots in this?
We control lifecycle manager don't like background.
No, no. So the only background method we implement is in the app delegate only. Any other dots in this?
So if we want any something download from server,
Yes.
so we have to write code in app delegate.
App delegate did enter background, we have to write. So there only we have to do everything. You are entering the background or you are coming again to the foreground. So some apps, what they'll do, if you take YouTube application, so I may play some video. If I click on the home button, it will go to the background. It will stop playing the audio and video both. And if you see previous iOS versions, around iOS 7 or iOS 6, in the background also it used to play all the audios and videos. Now they stop playing all these things. And if you are doing any upload or if you're doing any download data, so all this you should handle here only. So this is for entire application. My application will handle this. Sukant, Nikhil, you have any other doors?
No, no, no.
Okay. So tomorrow, is it okay for you at 7:30 to 8:30? For you?
Yeah, okay.
Or 7:45 to 8:45?
7:41.
For you also, same. Everyone is okay, right? And Sukant and Nikhil, 7:45 to 8:45, okay for you, right?
Yeah, okay, no problem.
Okay. So from tomorrow, we'll have 7:45 to 8:45. If it extends, we'll take till 9 o'clock also.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.